now as we continue the program. And I want to make one program note while I get a chance. For people listening on our 9-foot signal, which I don't think anybody is, but our 9-foot Talk FM 108, the Cubs baseball game will be heard on that side of the dial. But I'm going to be doing Gary J's sports page on my other frequency, which is 106.1 megahertz FM. And we're going to do Gary J's sports page at night. Meaning because I have an important meeting that I have to attend to, some important things I have to attend to in the afternoon on Saturday. One being that my vehicle is done, and I've got to deal with that, and a few other things. So I we'll be taking the afternoon off tomorrow, but we're going to do the Cubs. The Cubs game will be available on 670 The Score Chicago. And if you are anywhere in the country and you follow MLB, you can probably get that. Or just watch the video highlights on Cubs.com. Okay? So that Cubs game will not be available on tomorrow night on my 9-foot FM signal, Talk FM 108. Okay, so I just thought I'd make a mention of that. That's a quick program. And want to start getting ready to do the show. And 25 minutes passed right now, so I'm going to get into the weather on the fives because it's time. Well, the big news in weather in the fives, folks, is the heat wave. Extreme heat through pretty much the whole Midwest, all the way clear into the east. I mean, we're getting some pretty nasty weather there. Really hot in the Midwest, and with that in mind, I'm going to give you a look at that weather forecast and give you the nationwide weather. Like I said, an extreme heat advisory for pretty much the country and pretty much the Midwest, the upper Midwest. I know Minnesota and a lot of places like that are getting extreme heat. And it's getting pretty hot all across the country. Today, I was looking at the weather. I'm going to go to our weather site here real quick and give you our temperatures and stuff. Down here. Okay. And give you the extreme weather information that you expect. Again, hot and humid conditions are going to push heat indexes well over the 100-degree mark over across large portions of the central USA, and weak excess heat warnings and heat advisories are in effect for much of the plains, the Mississippi Valley, the Midwest, southern states as well, all going to get a lot of widespread heat. They're all going eastward. As a matter of fact, I was listening to the weather from Pennsylvania, and you guys back east at home are getting it too. So be very cautious. As a matter of fact, that extreme heat stretches pretty much through the whole Midwest. And I'm looking at that right now. So we're going to give you the weather maps. Okay. All right, and this is what it looks like. Look at that. A lot of this over here, as you see here, most of your 100-degree marks are pretty much in the Great Plains, all the way stretching up into the northern plains. You're seeing a lot of that, all the way up now. Minnesota, a lot of you guys are in extreme heat. In the upper Mississippi Valley right now, temperatures in the 90s. Upper 90s, mid-Atlantic, clear to Pennsylvania. Some of the more cooler spots are the Pacific Northwest, where temperatures are in the mid-70s, and out toward the South Pacific Southwest, you guys are in extreme heat as well, with temperatures in excess of 110 degrees. So we're talking some really nasty weather, and we'll give you some temperatures a little later on here on the program as well. But there you go. Very hot weather across America. And temperatures here, heat index is here in Clinton, Iowa right now. Looking at the heat index, 110. And it's been hot. I took my dog out, and now speaking of which, if you have a dog, please be entirely careful. Make sure that your dog's paws are not on the pavement. I've been walking my dog. I actually had to pick him up and get the mail because our mailbox is across our parking lot. So I have to go across the parking lot, and I need to carry him because the parking lot, you know very well, if you remember, walking across parking lots, or even I've been to Florida trips with my family a lot of times, and when you go into the hot sand, especially this time of day in Florida, especially right now since it's 3:30 in the Eastern time zone, Florida, this extreme heat with a hot sun beating on the sand, it's like if you were to go bare feet on the sand on one of the Florida beaches, you could burn the bottom of your foot. Serious. So be very, very careful. Also remember to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, most importantly, because drinking water is important. As I've been drinking water, I usually drink iced tea. I usually drink Coke. But with this extreme heat, I'm kind of giving the example of drinking cold ice water. Now, I usually put my water in a freezer. I like doing it that way because I like my water really, really cold. So I put my water in a freezer, and it's a big ice block. But it's cold, and it's good going down. So I love my cold ice water, and that's what I usually drink. I put a bunch of bottles in the freezer, let them get solid, and I have cold ice water throughout the show, and I think it's better than iced tea at this point. And I've got a lot of energy today. I got plenty of sleep. I went to bed a little early last night, and so I'm pretty much ready for a show today. And we're going to get started with news and comment here past the 2:30 mark. And we got some really interesting stuff that I thought we could talk about, and we're going to get into. So we're going to get into that this afternoon here on GJRB TV on YouTube. And I hope you're enjoying the program, and you want to be part of the show. For people listening in Pennsylvania, especially in the Pittsburgh area, my home city of Pittsburgh, I'm kind of saddened by the loss of a broadcast hero to me. I've always wanted to meet this man. He's a fabulous, fabulous man. I grew up, when I was in my teens, I used to stay up late at night and watch a program on our TV, on our Channel 11 in Pittsburgh. It was called Chiller Theater. And, looks like it's not going to play for me. Every once in a while, I've been noticing that the YouTube videos don't always play. They get into looks like a snow, and it says that error occurred. Please try again later. So I was going to play the Chiller Theater theme, but for some reason, it's not playing. Wanted to play it, but it's not playing. So we'll try to see if we can do it later. It's not playing, unfortunately, but I should have recorded it and put it on on my Spreaker somewhere, but unfortunately I didn't get around to it, so I'll play it later. But anyway, this man was fabulous. He was an incredible person. I really would love to have met him. He was the host of Chiller Theater in Pittsburgh for a long, long time. I can't remember. Well, I remember growing up watching TV in Pittsburgh. At that time, the call letters were WIIC Channel 11. Now, this man started. He was the first voice, the very first voice that signed on Channel 11 in 1957. And he was on the air ever since then. I don't know when he retired. I don't know. I have no idea. That's my sister's dad, but an amazing man. He was a broadcaster all around. I can say he's a broadcaster all around because he was a disc jockey too. He used to be on a lot of Pittsburgh radio stations. He was on a station called WIXZ. It was an AM station on 1360. And then he went on to, I think at the time, WJAS was a adult standards format. On 1320, they just changed to a talk radio format last year. But he was all around. He did weather. He did sports. He was, before Chiller Theater, he was the announcer for studio wrestling. And Pittsburgh was unique in that we had a lot of local original programming. Some went nationwide. For example, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which went nationwide from WQED. But this guy, WPXI channel, this guy could have went on. I mean, I remember him having a walk-on part on a soap opera. I believe it was Another World. I'm not mistaken. I remember it straight. He had a walk-on part on Another World. He could have went to Hollywood. He could have probably been an actor. He probably could have been a pretty good star. He started out in 1968. He had a part playing himself as a reporter in the horror movie Night of the Living Dead, Giorgio Romero's film, and he played the part of the news reporter on there. He used WIIC Channel 11 in the movie. I showed you earlier when we were testing the video that the Channel 11 station wagon, I called it a truck, but it was the Channel 11 mobile unit at the time, station wagon. And it said WIIC Channel 11 News across the side of it. And that was Channel 11 when I remember it. Fond memories of Bill Cardille, and fond memories because my mother told me a story that always stuck in my head as long as I can remember. She stated that one time, probably way before she met my father, she had a date with him and the guy who would later become his ring announcer. So I kind of have a connection with Bill Cardille. I feel I do. I feel a connection. And that's why I feel kind of sad about his lossing, because I really did want to meet him. He was an incredible man, and I really am sad that I never got a chance to have a chat with him. Didn't have a chance that maybe he could have been my mentor, my influence. I really, really wish I knew that he could have been if I would have met him and I would have told him the story. And I'm sure he would have recollected it. Maybe perhaps we could have worked together some way or another. But great man. And Chiller Theater, fond memories of staying up late on a Saturday night in Pittsburgh. And on Channel 11, WIIC at the time, and then they changed their call letters to WPXI in the early 80s. But they were WIIC through pretty much the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. Through the 70s, until they changed their call letters in the early 80s to WPXI. But he was on that channel all that time with Chiller Theater. I don't know when that show went off the air because I was gone out of Pittsburgh after that. But I always watched Chiller Theater because every Saturday night, right after the 11 o'clock